How's it going then? We're back again, Anderby Creek Beach on an absolutely brilliant day. It's Rants from the traffic jam. We're not in a traffic jam. There's absolutely nothing going on. When I say that, everything's relaxed, everything's quiet. I've got Will the deaf dog with me. I've got young James with me as well. He's come out to give the dog a walk. And we're out on the beach and it is absolutely fantastic for the middle of August. Sorry, middle of October. I don't know what I'm on about. But here we go. And we're at the south end of Anderby Creek Beach, right on the sand dunes. The house is on the seafront, which is quite a feature along these points. The sea's absolutely calm and fantastic today. Would be perfect for swimming in, but this time of year now, believe me, it gets blooming cold. And that's what's known as the creek. It's an outflow for the floodwaters on the fenlands behind us. Apparently it was built way back in 1902, but I could be a little bit wrong with that. Something I might just have to check up on again. But there's a pump house about 1/4 mile inland that pumps the fresh water, the rainwater and all the drainage out to sea. At the moment, no, that's not working because we've not had enough rain. So rather than a big gully that splits the beach in two and stops people from having a walk up and down what is probably about 30 mile of beach you can walk across, what they've done is they've tunnelled the creek or the outflow under the beach, so that's where it comes out, and dotted along every few yards you've got these airflow vents, and apparently they're there to help the airflow to push the water out into the sea, especially when there's a lot of water and the tunnel underneath can fill right up to the top. So there we go. These are the outflows, and deep down inside there, we're not going to be able to pick this out. Yes, you can just about at the bottom make out some of the flowing water, and you can hear the water as well. And let's just try and get that to focus again. There we go. And if I call down here, I've got young James who's probably about 50 feet away at the moment. I'm going to call down to him and let's see if we can hear him call back through the tunnel. Are you there, James? Oh, you are there. That's good. So there you go. You can actually have the conversation. We've done it where you can talk for the length of the beach, which is probably about 300 yards when the tide's out. And we're at the lower levels of the beach now, right at the end of the outflow of Anderby Creek. You can see the long post there with the light on it, and that's to warn shipping that certainly on high tide that they've got something under the water and to stay away from it. Years ago, I'm going back I think into the 1960s, when I was younger, there was a case of a boat hitting the top of the creek and sinking. That was during the winter months, so you never got to see it. Just scanning the beach, and as you can see, look, there is just miles and miles of open sand. It really is quite a nice place to be, quite a peaceful place to be. There's James and the dog. He's still on his lead. As I explained, because he's a deaf dog, we can't let him off his lead, unfortunately, because, well, he'll bugger off and do his own thing. And we can't call him back, so unfortunate that is for him. Looking out over the sea, you might just make out the windmills and the wind turbines 25 wind turbines that have been put up over the last few years, and yeah, they're a bit of an eyesore, and in such a peaceful, idyllic place like this, sort of, you don't really want to see them, but it is, at the end of the day, the future, isn't it? It's free electricity, it's clean, and they suggest that it can generate enough electricity to just about power the whole of the East Lindsey district, which is the east of Lincolnshire. The sea is quite calm today, there's no boat activity out. Last week the sea was quite rough, the winds were quite rough as well. Just back up onto the beach again, and that's the Wildlife Observatory that's been built a couple of years ago, and apparently it's just to give everybody who's into wildlife a good vantage point. You've got little slits on the walls so that you can sneak in there with your binoculars and have a look at all the wildlife that's along the beach, can be seen along the beach. Wildlife includes things like Jameses and seals, and of course there's the bird life as well. There are fish that are seen jumping out of the water at times, and one guy said to me, he said, "You can see whales from up here," to which I answered, "You must have some good binoculars because it's 250 miles the other way." It's not that Wales, obviously, but we are literally about a mile away from the spot last year where several sperm whales got beached and sadly couldn't be saved and ended up dying. So, but it's quite a common thing to see whales, certainly during the winter months. And now we're back up on the pullover again. That's a couple of the caravan sites just to the right hand side, and the expanse of water, or should we say the narrow line of water, is the drain. This is actually salt water, this side, and just across, in fact more or less right in the middle of the screen now, you might just be able to make out the pump house. But, like I say, it does pump water, certainly when we've had a lot of rainfall, and you can hear the pumps going at night with the diesel engines. It's quite a noisy thing. Smashing day today, sun's been out all day, it's been lovely, and what a way to eke out the last drops of summer. Barbecue on the veranda, a few homemade burgers, a few nice sausages. Job's an absolute winner, isn't it? See you later. This is the drainage pump house at Anderby Creek. This is where the fresh water is pumped out when the levels get too high. Just a few weeks ago there was hardly any water in here at all. It just goes to show over a few days how much rainfall you can get. And that That lot's ready to be pumped out. The sluice gates are there. There's the old pump house. We've got new electric pumps as well as the old diesel pumps, and that just makes sure that with this harsh weather that we're getting these days, that they can get rid of the water a lot quicker. The other problem that we can get here is, of course, spring high tides. So if we get a lot of rainfall in the spring, there's nowhere for it to go. But so far it's done the job, and so far it's kept everybody in this area free from floods. And this is that outfall. This is from the other end. There's the creek and the beach right up yonder there where I was earlier. And this is the saltwater side. As I just scan across, this is the only road into Andyby Creek. The pump house is just behind there. When the pumps are going, this is gushing of water down this part here. It just brings back memories of when I was about 11 years old, and used to come here with crab lines years ago. Used to get some really good sized crabs down this area, and the pumps were going, and like a prat I decided to fall in. A bit scary, especially the way the water was going, but fortunately I just managed to get into a bit of a corner eddy, and I didn't get swept away, so something to be thankful for. This is the top end of Andyby Creek. A lot of caravans. There's 5 caravan sites here. None of them are very big, and they're not these sort of great big corporate caravan sites that you find in Skegness and places like that. These are all small family run affairs. The village offers a pub, 2 pubs. A chip van comes round, there's a cafe near the beach, there's a little shop, so there's always plenty to do. And it's just somewhere that's quiet, it's nice, although right when I'm filming there seems to be a lot of traffic, but trust me, it's not normally this busy on a midweek day. Yes, when I fell in the creek when I was crabbing years ago, I was hauled out by one of the workers at the pump house with a long rake, so I had to grab hold of the forks, the tines, whatever you want to call them, on the rake, and it hauled me out of the water. Fortunately, no damage to me, just a loss of pride, and I lost one of my shoes, but a little bollocking off the mum and dad, and that was it really. So that's it, that's my little vlog on Andyby Creek in a little bit more detail. Just hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, press the like button. If not, press the unlike button. If anybody's got any tips on how to make these things and these films a little bit more professional, let me know. Subscribe if you like as well. Always helps, doesn't it? Makes things look a bit better. Anyway, we're off home soon, back to Leicester. And this is it for another week. Take care folks, see you soon.